Good morning, and thank you for joining us once again on this beautiful Saturday morning on Orange County Chamber Chat, powered by Wall Radio. This is Barbara Martinez, Director of Communications for the Orange County Chamber of Commerce. And with me today, I have Deborah Garry, CEO and President of BBG&G Advertising. Happy 20th anniversary, Deb.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me here on this Saturday.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here.
We want to talk about your advertising company and,
Okay.
of course, the 20 years of, all the changes, 2 decades of things that have gone on in this industry. And but I'll let you get started with kind of letting us know, giving us a little background about who you are and what you do.
Okay. I'm one of the original founding partners of the agency. I started out as an illustrator, did some work in corporate marketing, in publishing, educational publishing, worked with smaller agencies and businesses, and joined in with my partners in 1997, incorporated as BBG&G.
What does BBG&G stand for?
It stands for the names, everybody asks that, it stands for the names of the original 4 founding partners, of which I am one. So one of our original founding partners had previously worked for BBD&O, so this was our little kind of salute to that by going with the same kind of acronym for Beauvais, Beisel, Garry, and Geiler.
Okay.
It was easier to say BBG&G.
BBG&G. So I know that you guys are located, because one of my most favorite places in Orange County is the Noble Coffee Roasters in Campbell Hall.
Yes.
And I just happened, when I spoke to you, said, I noticed to the lady at your office, I noticed the sign on the door. And I said, oh, this is where they are.
Yes.
So you're like right above Noble Coffee Roasters in
We're
Campbell
right
Hall.
above, so we smell coffee and good things cooking all day long. The smell of bacon in the morning and at the end of the day is just deadly. It's so good.
So your agency consists of how many people?
We have 10 in the office right now, and we have also a team of associated freelancers and consultants. So we've always had elastic walls, which means that we can build teams for our clients based on what they really need. So we have a great core team in the office, and then we've got other professionals that just really allow us to access the best talent in the Valley.
Okay, so give us an overall view of what it is that BBG&G does.
Okay, well, there's a lot. Simplest way to explain it is to say that we build bridges between our clients and their customers, and those are communication bridges. So we help their potential clients and even existing clients better understand what our clients offer and how their services and products would help them. Mm-hmm. Or in the case of a destination or a place, why that's the place they should go on their next vacation or trip. So we provide a host of marketing services to that end to just, link our clients with the people out there that need to know about them.
Okay, so just so that people kind of get an idea of the organizations and companies that you have worked with, just give us an overview or a list of some of the current and past BBG&G clients that you've had.
Okay. We have worked and work with various banks in the region, hospital systems, healthcare providers, CPAs and lawyers, tourism and destinations, restaurants, hotels, golf courses, membership clubs, B2B, everything from aviation glass. We have done work with Gillinder Glass, to organization products, filing products, engineering services. There's really a whole really wide variety.
So is advertising the main component or the main umbrella for what you do?
I would say marketing. Communication really is. Advertising is one of the tools that we use, as well as building websites, running social media programs, developing collateral, trade show displays and materials, anything that our clients need to communicate with their markets.
Okay, so you've been around for 20 years.
We've been around for 20
happy
years.
Anniversary,
Thank
20
you.
years.
Yeah,
And
it's been a fun ride.
Has it always been here in Orange County?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. We started out in Montgomery, moved to Middletown, and now we're in Campbell Hall.
Okay. So how long did you stay in Middletown?
That was about, and now you have to forgive me because about 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure the business has changed. I mean, especially with social media and all technology the way that it is. How is it that a company like yours keeps up with these changing trends and what's new, what's trending, what's hot?
Yeah. That's part of the fun of it and the excitement of it is that the toolbox constantly evolves. So when we started out, there was no such thing really as social media or websites or digital advertising or 3D video or some of the newer tools that we leverage now for our clients. But we just have always stayed up to date, continue our education, go to conferences, go to seminars, read a ton of industry material. And we're always at the forefront, introducing new options to our clients and new marketing tools that would work for them. So it keeps it really interesting and exciting. And what's important is that even though the toolbox continues to kind of expand and get more interesting, more complex too, so we have to really think through what we're doing, our methodology stays the same. So we use the same strategic branding and planning methodology. We just get to have more tools at our disposals now.
We have a lot of small businesses here in Orange County and the Hudson Valley, and sometimes their marketing budget isn't, the greatest, but they do need to have great marketing so that they can survive. Is that something that your agency can help with? Or have you worked with small businesses, or do you just work with big businesses?
We have worked with small businesses, and having started out as a small business ourselves 20 years ago, we have a heart for the small businesses in the area. And I think what's most important for any business, whether they're large or small, is to really plan carefully, because it's so easy to say, oh, maybe we could do that, or maybe we could do this, or maybe we should do that. And a good, solid strategic plan, really looking at what their goals are, where they're trying to get to, forcing themselves to be specific about what do I need to accomplish this year, and maybe what's my 5-year plan, and then really looking at their client base and say, who are these people? What do they need to understand? How do they get their information? How do they make their decision? And then selecting and planning specific strategies. That's the best way for them to use their budget effectively. They may not or probably cannot do everything. There's a lot of media choices out there, and you can't spread yourself too thin or they won't be effective.
So as an expert in the field, what would be one of the first things that you would advise a small business that they should focus on? More specifically, I know this should be your base, and from that you should then branch out or spread out. So what is like their foundation? What should be their strongest thing they focus on?
Oh, it really depends on their particular business. Are they B2B? Are they B2C? Are they retail? Right. And again, it just goes back to who are they, who are their customers, and what are they trying to accomplish. Maybe if they're a consumer-based business, or if they're in the food and beverage, then social media might be the one thing that they really put their time and investment in, and a good, solid, simple website.
Right. I think most small businesses, because of their budgets, they tend to lean a lot towards the social media and Facebook, but kind of sometimes neglect their website, and that can be kind of and not knowing their analytics and learning about their what's working for them. So, is that something that you would, as a client, if they were your client, would you say, okay, let's look at this and see how you're doing versus your analytics, and what changes, maybe what is working and what is not working for you?
That's always part of our initial process, is taking a look at what they're doing, looking at their website, looking at the analytics, and what's working and what's not.
You mentioned tourism before,
yes.
And so a lot of times we don't even think, I think, that tourism, when you think of an advertising company, you don't think, oh, well, tourism is, they're helping with that. But that's usually a big draw to the area. So are you heavily involved in tourism or in that kind of business?
We are, and it's one of our, I would say the last 7 to 10 years, we've started to do a lot of work in that sector. Love it. Love it. It's so much fun. And there's so much happening in New York State in the Northeast, and it's a wonderful place. There's so much going on. But every place and destination needs to think of themselves as a brand and a product. They're selling an experience to potential visitors. And so our job is to help them put a handle on who they are, look at themselves even from a placemaking perspective, and then communicate that essence to the people and what it's like to be there, to get people to come. And we do that and have done that very successfully, and it is one of my favorite sectors.
Yeah. What else? Now, what else do you focus on? I know that you mentioned you have tourism, and there are a bunch of other companies that you've worked with. So it sounds to me from what you've said that there's a little bit of everything in there.
Well, we just have, we really have a lot of broad experience. We, besides being 20 years in business as BBG&G, I have probably another 10 years or so of business of experience before that, as do a lot of the people that we, that are on the team. So it's really having the depth of marketing expertise and the ability to learn about many different industries, and we apply that expertise to those industries. Like I've said, as I said before, we've marketed some very niche products, but we learn about them. And the marketing strategy process is the marketing strategic process in terms of thinking through and developing a plan, and then having the creative services to implement those tactics through advertising, public relations, social media, website, trade show materials, sales tools, packaging, and so it goes.
Is there anything that we would locally recognize that you've been a part of in terms of marketing?
Over the years, we've been a part of branding Walden Savings Bank, Horizon Family Medical, Bon Secours Hospital, and St. Anthony's in Warwick. We've worked with St. Luke's in Newburgh. Pine Bush Equipment. We've done many logos over the years. Occupations before it became Access.
The reason I ask is I'm sure whoever's listening is probably saying, well, what have I seen? I mean, we're very visual, instant gratification type of, people. So we want to be able to say, oh, I've seen that. Or, I know exactly what she's talking about. I've actually saw that marketing and I liked it, you know. So there's just certain things that sometimes people as a listener like to relate to and say, oh, I know because I've seen that before.
Right now, we've worked with Cornerstone Health Care. We've worked with, right now we're working with Flannery Animal Hospital, which is fun, and Pine Bush Animal Hospital. Dutchess Tourism we work with, Rockland County Tourism. We worked with Ellenville last year on the Find Ellenville campaign. So there's a lot going on.
That's great. So it keeps you busy, I'm sure.
It keeps me busy. 20
years, I mean, it's got to be, you've got to have your hands on like a lot of things going on here. Do you work mainly in Orange County, or do you spread outside of that? Are you in the Hudson Valley?
Oh, definitely. Our work encompasses the Hudson Valley as well as other parts of New York State.
Okay. Can you give us like some idea of where?
For example, we've done work with Warren County, which is the Lake George area, and we did a whole tourism marketing study for them last year, and a marketing plan and competitive analysis. There was no creative involved, but it was all just research, strategy, planning, and recommendations.
They have a huge tourism base. People always traveling over to Lake George.
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm sure that must have been a fun client to work
I had
with.
a ball just driving around the Adirondacks.
So it says, I was reading that you guys are certified New York State WBE.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that process and the importance of having been becoming part of that. I mean, because I know it's a lengthy process.
It is, and we probably first became certified, I mean, I have this exactly right, about 10 years ago, I would say. We identified it as an opportunity for ourselves. We were certainly women-owned, and so it's just a matter of going through the process. And it took a little while. It's not terrible. I would highly recommend it to any women-owned or minority-owned business because it opens up opportunities. And we are also involved in pursuing and gaining government work. So as an MWBE, it helps us to, gain some of those government contracts and work with different municipalities and government entities.
And has it, is that just recent? How long have you been involved in the WBE?
We've been certified for close to 10 years, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's just a matter of keeping up with it and renewing it.
Okay. You mentioned before that you were a partnership of, was it 4 people?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Is it still the same partnership? Still going strong?
Well, what happened very early on, one of the original 4 partners decided that it was not a good fit for her. So it really started with 3 of us.
Okay.
After less than a year. The 3rd partner retired about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And the 4th partner retired last year.
Uh-oh.
So it is me.
And you're still going strong.
I'm still
which is
going
amazing.
strong. I stay in touch with my former partners and we get together. But I have such a marvelous team. People have been with us for several years. And I just cannot say enough of how great my team is.
So tell us a little bit about, let's go back in time to when you started this business,
Okay.
the early years. Did you think that it was going to get, the way it is now, it's got to be completely different.
It's funny. There are some things that are drastically different and some things that are the same.
Yeah.
And it's, the different media and the different tools available are what's so different.
Yeah.
We use marketing automation now to help close the loop for our clients in terms of our marketing efforts. And 20 years ago, that wasn't even on the horizon, nor was social media, nor was the digital display advertising that's done now, nor was virtual reality video. We're just putting the finishing touches on a 360-degree virtual reality video.
Wow.
Actually, 3 of them for one of our destination clients. So it's fascinating. The technology keeps changing, but the basic process and the needs of our clients remain the same. They really need us to be, very grounded in research, really understand their company, understand their clients, and be able to plan and implement, communication tools that will work, and they face the competitive environment is still there for them. There's still the same issues in business.
Okay.
The tools have changed.
Well, we'll explore that a little bit more. We wanted to talk a little bit about branding and the importance of branding. So if you can give us your expertise advice on that, especially for small businesses that are out there listening.
Okay.
Tell us what you know. Let's pick your brain.
All right, I'll try and put it out in a process, and it really is a process. And sometimes I think because we're a creative firm, people right away want to see something pretty. They want to see the creative end product. And we're very methodical at first. We'll sit down and say, look, before we start spinning out work, we have to really understand you. And about 15 years ago, we went through our own branding process, which was difficult because it's hard to do your own stuff. And we really made ourselves go through the process of identifying what was it that made us different and what was it that differentiated us. And this is a process that everybody should go through, no matter how big or small you are. Who am I really? What am I really in the business of? What am I really providing to my clients? Who are they? What do they look like? What do they care about? Why do they need me? Why us? What problem do we solve for them? And so we articulated for ourselves that what made us special was not only that we could create beautiful creative work, was that we really had this branding methodology that we're, just very fussy about. And so we came up with our own tagline, which is, it's the work we do before we do the work, which means that before we create anything, there's a whole lot of background work that we do in terms of research, sitting with our clients, talking to them, understanding their customers, getting in the shoes of their customers, and kind of looking back at our clients from that perspective, saying, well, why should I buy from you? And what do you really offer? Because if I understand that, then I can communicate that to your prospects, and we can help get them on board to being your client. So that initial branding process of what am I really selling, and who am I talking to, and what do they need to understand, and what do I want them to do?
Sounds like a lot like I'm sitting in front of someone from Shark Tank. You ever watch that?
I do sometimes,
Oh my God.
and that's the process. It has to be that process. And when we can define all that, that really sets a direction, because by then, as part of the conversation, we've taken a good look at our customers' clients and have an understanding of who they are. So we begin to look at, well, where do they get their information? Do they get it through social media? If it's B2B, maybe LinkedIn is more important than Facebook. Maybe we need to look at the trade publications. Maybe they go to 5 trade shows a year. Well, what happens? Do they do any pre-show marketing? Do they do any post-show marketing? Do they end up with lots of leads, which has happened, and it made me a little crazy. I would send my client off to the trade show with all this good marketing material. They'd get all these leads, and they had no system in place after the show to follow up on the leads. And I was like, you got to do post-show marketing. Can we talk, please? So, it's that kind of methodical approach. And so we nail all that down in the beginning, develop a creative brief, so that I basically, if I'm doing the intake or if another one of my team is doing the intake, I have to be able to transfer all of that to my creative team, so that the content developers and the writers begin to set the tone and write the messaging that conveys what needs to be communicated to the audiences. And so it's a very tight-knit process between that initial planning and intake, the writing, the strategy behind the content development, and then the designers that, put the trimmings on the package, so to speak. But that foundation is so important. And one of our pet peeves is looking at advertising or marketing work that's out there, and it can be really beautiful, but empty. Or there's no call to action, and I look at it and say, what do they want people to do? You're here? Okay, you exist. Great. So what? What do you want your audiences to do? And so that kind of thinking is just really, really important. And it helps our creative team so much if they know why they're doing what they're doing and where we're trying to get to.
And that will help them identify why branding of their business is so important.
It's so important. It's so important to have that direction and just to go through that process. And, sometimes we just do that for people. We'll sit down with them and go through a brand definition process, give them a positioning strategy and key messaging and suggested corporate ID treatment and a marketing plan. And then some of it they can implement themselves.
I know, because with a lot of small businesses, like I had mentioned earlier in the show, sometimes they get so involved in the social media aspect of it that they tend to not have the time to focus on their website and the importance of having a user-friendly but very creative, sticking to the, staying up with the trends type of website, something that is you can access through your smartphone, maybe possibly an app, things that are just going to get people to choose you when they Google your name or Google whatever, and they choose you versus everyone else that might be out there doing the same thing. So it's kind of teaching small businesses how to stand out and how to brand themselves in such a way that they become first choice.
Yes, we want them to be the preferred or first choice in their business, in their industry, in their sector, and so part of that initial analysis is also looking at their competitors. What are they doing? What do they look like? How do they talk about themselves? How can our clients differentiate themselves from their competitors? And a website for most businesses is really important. It doesn't have to be complicated. It shouldn't be complicated. It should be just clean and simple and logical in terms of how you can move around it and set up for good SEO. And a lot of businesses don't know how to do that. But good navigation, good content, good setup, and good basic SEO practices can do a lot in helping them being found organically.
So tell us again, what does SEO mean?
That stands for search engine optimization, and it means setting up your site so that you're easily found by organic search engines, so that you don't necessarily have to pay for paid search or AdWords or Google AdWords. You can do a lot to help yourself just by making sure your website is done properly.
And active, right? It's important to keep it
and you have
active.
To keep it refreshed, keep the content. So often we'll help our clients with a small and simple blog so that there's constantly ongoing fresh content on their website, which is very helpful for them. And we will do a monthly or quarterly review and say, let's take a second look. It's time to add this. Maybe you can add that. Talk about a service. Do some PR so that that kind of news and media alerts can be added to the website. That also constantly refreshes content. So there's different ways that they can bring in a social media feed into their website. So that's always ongoing new content. There's a lot of ways to help your website be as strong as possible.
So it's teaching them or talking to them about analytics. Can you tell us a little bit about analytics and the importance of that?
Yes. Depending on the client, we use either Google Analytics, or for our clients that are on board with our marketing automation software suite, we use analytics to get an understanding of how the traffic flow is going through the website, how people are behaving on their website, what's catching their interest, where are they spending their time, where are we losing them, how are we doing on the bounce rate, on the engagement rate, are they spending more time as we work with our client, are their clients, are their numbers improving, are people spending more time on the website, are they bouncing off less, are they looking at the new content that we've added. So, where are these people coming from? Are they mostly, what device are they utilizing to view our clients' websites? Depending on the industry and depending on the client and depending on the time of day, it's going to bounce around between mobile and desktop and laptop.
And it's important for them to understand or know how people are accessing their site.
Yes, because if they have, and different people use different devices at different times of day and at different points of this decision cycle. So it's important to know when and how are people on their mobile device looking at the website versus when are they looking at it on a desktop. And for example, within the tourism and destination industry, there's the early parts of the decision cycle, people are using their larger screens. They want to have a big screen to look at when they're browsing around and exploring a destination. But when they're actually there, then they're on their phone finding the nearest restaurant or, where's a drugstore. So their needs for the mobile version are different than when they're using the
Right.
laptop.
When you're on your mobile, you want to be able to click and jump to where you want to go, not have to. You won't necessarily search as deep as you do when you're on your desktop where you have a bigger screen. Where on your phone, you want to be able to just scroll, tap, and
right,
move on.
Exactly. I'm here now. Just where's the best restaurant?
Yeah,
I'm already sold. I'm here. Help me find what I need to find.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have you have you do. I see here you do advertising, publishing. In terms of publishing, how is that?
Well, public relations.
Okay.
Public relations. And that is another way to gain exposure and awareness and traction for our clients through media and public relations. So a lot of times they have different stories for different audiences. And so we help them reach out and get those stories told. And there's usually different levels and layers. So, for example, for years ago, we worked with Taylor Recycling, and he had several stories going on. He had the very local story of what he was doing in his business, and he was opening a new facility, and he was having a grand opening, and we wanted the public to come and see and be comfortable and come and have a hamburger or a hot dog. So we had very local stories to local papers. On the regional level, he was involved in the efforts down after 9/11 in the recovery of and the recovery efforts down in the city. And on a national, international level, his process was completely new within his industry. So he was getting attention from other countries and other states on his recycling and reclaiming process that they had come up with. So we had all these different kinds of stories. So we were pitching different stories to different kinds of media, and we're successful in getting him local coverage, regional coverage, national coverage, and international coverage in his trade. So it's just that strategic thinking. Who's the audiences? What are they going to be interested in? How can we gain exposure for our client?
And so and that's amazing, because that must have kept you guys extremely busy. I mean,
It
there are
did.
so many layers.
There were so many layers,
to
and there
that.
always are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there always are.
But so do you cater to the bigger businesses, or do you cater to the smaller? I mean, can a small business like a startup now is thinking about getting together with a marketing firm and probably,
Yes, they can. You know, I think it's a matter of just realistic expectations, and we force them to think through things and define themselves a bit. We just started with a small startup business called Nancy's of Woodstock. They are an artisanal ice cream maker. They just opened up this year in Woodstock in Ulster County, and they were a small startup business. So we had a great time just helping them get started, doing their initial brand identity, getting a simple website up, getting the social media going, helping them with the opening of their store. It's a little bit of public relations. So it is absolutely possible. If you have the best ice cream, go up to Nancy's in Woodstock. So yeah, we have, we do work with small businesses. We work with medium. We work with large. It's.
Well, because we want to make sure that those that are listening out there, if they're thinking about their marketing or their advertising, and they're looking to get a fresh new look, or they want to reevaluate what they're doing, they want to reach out to someone. And sometimes, when you are looking as a business, looking for a company to help you go through that, sometimes that could be a little scary.
Oh, it is.
It is. You're not
is.
sure what the right questions are to ask, and you don't want to kind of show them what you have in case what you have is no good and you thought it was good.
We're very kind. We're very kind. We're very easy to talk to. And I understand. So it can be kind of scary. They're not sure what to expect. They're not sure what their expectations are. They're not quite sure what an advertising and marketing firm actually does. It's all kind of abstract. But we make it real for them, and we sit down and talk about it really business to business, because that's what it's about.
Okay.
This is, we're here to help you as a business, help you be successful as a business. And we get it.
Now, I know that you guys have been members of the Chamber of Commerce for how long now?
Forever. I first started getting involved in the chamber probably 30 years ago, and I was in my own former smaller firm that I ran myself before I incorporated as BBG&G. So I've been involved for a long time, and we've been involved since the beginning as BBG&G.
Wow. We appreciate you coming on to the radio with us to kind of let people know, that your services are available out there. You're part of the chamber. You provide marketing and planning and strategies and everything for all the businesses out here in the Hudson Valley, and for people to reach out to you. So if they wanted to reach out to you, you have website,
We have a website, Facebook, social media, LinkedIn. You can email me. Go on our website. There's a quick form you can fill out that will give us a little bit of information about who you are and what you're looking for and what you need. It comes right to me, and then we can start going from there.
Okay, so give us your location, contact information, website. You know what? We'll take a little break first.
Okay.
We will make sure we gather all that information, give people a chance to get their pens out in case they want to write everything down.
Sounds good.
Okay, so stay with us. We're listening to Orange County Chamber
marketing.
Chat. We'll be right back. Describe your ideal client.
Okay. My ideal client is someone who is good at their job and allows us to do ours. And we've really been blessed over many years to work with just phenomenal people. And our ideal client, they have vision, they know their business like nobody else, and they know where they want to go. And they respect our vision and our expertise to allow them to get there. So it's a real partnership. And they give us the kind of insight that we couldn't possibly have, and then we bring our insight to it. And they allow us to plan and implement, and they trust us. And it's a real partnership, because in the end, if we're not successful, if they're not successful, we're not successful.
Right.
And that's really the bottom line. So it's a great partnership. It's a great sharing of vision and energy and respect. And that's, so it can be a small business, huge business, but that doesn't matter. It's really the kind of partnership that we're able to form.
That's excellent. So while we were on break, you were talking about something about virtual reality.
Yeah, it is one of the newest things that we're engaging in. It's the 3D virtual reality video, and we're just wrapping up 3 videos for Destination Client. And it's fun and challenging, because not only do we have to stage what's going, traditionally you had to stage what's going on in front of the camera when you were filming. Now you have to stage everything. You have to be completely comfortable with what's going on around the camera. It's actually a set of cameras, 360 degrees. But it's fascinating. So we've just been this week looking at the first drafts of the videos and sitting in our office with our goggles on and spinning around in our chairs. And it's just amazing. So the new toys that we get to use and tools, it's just so much fun.
I had a coworker that had to used one. It was a roller coaster ride, and we thought for sure she was going to fall. She was standing while she was doing it, and we were like, "Oh, maybe you should sit."
They're very you
really,
feel like
really
you're there.
You
feel like you're there.
So that's amazing that you get to do that. That's fun.
It is fun. It is fun.
So again, let's go back to contact information, website. Let's give them website address, Facebook, and how they get in touch with you so they can be your ideal client.
Sounds good. You can find us online at www.bbggadv, short for advertising.com. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. You can find us there. We're right above the Noble Coffee Roaster Cafe on Route 207 in Campbell Hall. A lot of people know where that is. And our phone number is on the website. It's 615-9084.
Do they contact you? Let's say they wanted to do a consultation.
They can
do they
call.
start with your website with filling out a form, or can
They can do that. That's a great way. We also have some very interesting white papers on our website if they're looking for more information on digital marketing services or the automated marketing services. There's some white papers they can download. There is a form they can fill out just to give me a little bit of an insight of who they are, what they're looking for, what their needs are. Or they can just call and talk to one of us and come in and sit down for a while.
That's excellent. That's a nice bit of like a nice tool to have in their tool bag. My analogy here is terrible, but so in case they're looking for some type of help with their business or trying to keep up with the trends or do something new or refresh everything.
Yeah, they can look at our blog. There's a lot of good information there. We also have all of our e-newsletters that have gone out over the past several years. We send out one a month. They can see our newsletters online. So that's, they can really find out a lot about us on our website and get a sense of what might be most of interest to them.
And they can subscribe for that?
They can subscribe for our e-newsletter. They can sign up online for that as well.
Okay. That's excellent. I'm going to go through a couple of chamber events that are coming up. I want to let everybody know. Deb, take your pen out because you may want to be interested in coming into some of these events that we got coming for the chamber.
Okay, I'm ready.
So get ready for this, people. On Sunday, August 20th, right around the corner from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Angry Orchards in Walden, we have our Brunch Fest. I've been talking about the Brunch Fest every single Saturday that I've been here. And it's because we're very excited. It's our very first event. It's kind of like the New York City Brunch Con, but it's up here in the Hudson Valley. And we are very excited about it. We have a video online now on our Facebook page that you can download. It makes you completely hungry when you watch it. And there's going to be fun and games and live music. There's going to be a barber. There's going to be a manicurist, along with a bunch of food. So a bunch of different vendors. For example, we have the Borland House has signed on to be with us. Legoland is going to be featuring their Granny Smith apple fries, and a bunch of other Kona Ice is going to be there. Christopher Jacobs from Penning's Wines is going to be there. So it's going to be all kinds of vendors that have been signing on. There are 3 different levels. It's a VIP admission that has limited availability. So if you're interested in doing that, that gives you access to all the amenities. Plus, you have an early entry of 10 a.m. versus 11 a.m. You get to access the VIP lounge. There's a tour of their tree house that Angry Orchard has there, a tour of their cider flight, and then extended drink passes. That's for VIP. There's a general admission entry, which you can enjoy one tasting of each of the 40 plus vendors that are being featured at this event, different restaurants and food trucks and stands and tastemakers. And then there's also, for the designated driver, there's a sampling of all the food vendors and unlimited non-alcoholic beverages. So if you want to know more about that, you got to get your tickets. Don't wait until the last minute at ocbrunchfest.eventbrite.com, or you can check out our website at orangeny.com, or give Erin Pasquale, who's the director of events, an email at erinp@orangeny.com. And if you just feel like picking up the phone, you can always give us a call at 845-457-9700. Don't forget, it's going to be Sunday, August 20th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for us general admission people. But if you are a VIP, like I like to be, you could get there at 10 a.m. So make sure to join us, and don't forget to get your tickets. Gather a bunch of friends. It's going to be a fun event. I said, there's also going to be like a pancake eating contest. I said I was going to show up in my pajamas because apparently it's going to be someone's going to be able to do your hair, your nails. There's going to be food. There's going to be all kinds of different vendors. So I'm going to go in with my pajamas, like with my hair curlers out, and then I'm going to come out totally redone from the Brunch Fest. So don't forget to miss that. And then, of course, we've been talking a lot about our 19th annual Orange Open. This year, we are going to be swinging with honor, and we're doing that on Monday, September 25th at the beautiful West Hills Country Club located in the town of Walk Hill. There are going to be 3 levels of competition. It is going to be a corporate challenge. There's going to be, which is competing for the Rowley Cup, and we all know who the Rowley family is. That's includes a VIP area. There's going to be lunch and cocktail party and awards, and there's all kinds of sponsorships available. So we are looking for you to help us help Honor, which is the Helping Others Needing Our Resources, located in Middletown. They've been providing services to families in needs for a long time, and we want to be able to help them help their local community. So you need to, we started signing up on June 19th. Again, it's going to be Monday, September 25th. You don't want to miss that, because if you like to golf, well, it's going to be at the beautiful West Hills Country Club, number 1. But number 2, you'll be golfing for a good cause. So that's a good reason to say, honey, I have to golf because I'm helping Honor. You can contact Casey at kcm@orangeny.com, or again, our director of events, Erin Pasquale, at erinp@orangeny.com. And you can always just reach us at orangeny.com. That's our website if you want more information, or give us a call because Arlene, who's very helpful, she will talk you through it, 845-457-9700. I want to remind everyone that if you want to be a guest on the radio with me, first of all, you have to be a member. So make sure that you join the chamber because this is a perfect way to mix, mingle, and network with other chamber members. We have our breakfast coming up. It's going to be amazing. And we have a breakfast every single month. So make sure that you follow us because that way you'll know when you can join us. Our breakfasts are always at West Hills Country Club because we love the breakfast that they put together. And I want to let people know, so if you want to be on the radio with me, send me an email, barbaram@orangeny.com, and I will be happy to interview you, hang out with you. We can chat on Orange County Chamber Chat. And one last thing I want to give everybody a heads up. I am working with Chamber Discoveries for our Chamber adventure that will be next year in March. And just to hint everybody, I have chosen Costa Rica. So if you've not been to Costa Rica, that's what we're going to do. We're going to be departing to Costa Rica on March 18th, 2018. And more information will follow for that. So you just need to send me an email and I'll send you more information on that. Stay with us. I thank you so much, Deb Garry, for hanging out with me here today.
Thank you. I've had a great time.
Thank you for hanging out. And I want to make sure to tell everyone, have a nice weekend and make sure to hang out with me again on Orange County Chamber Chat next Saturday, powered by Wall Radio. Thanks, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Everybody have a nice weekend.